Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with me, Gitbag the Great. And today we've just got a couple of short little clips for you guys. First off is me and my Batchat 25T on Abbey. This isn't a particularly interesting match here, but there was just a couple of little moments that made me sort of think, you know what, this just deserves to be in a video, really. It's just it looks a bit special, I think. It's just the kind of sort of a remedy for a good Monday morning, I think. So I thought I'd put it in here anyway. It's not the main replay of this video, but at the same time I just thought it was interesting enough to have a look at. So I'm here on Abbey, and I thought to myself for a moment I could go round on the 1 and 2 lines there on the map, but at the same time there's a lot of heavy tanks around there. You know, they've kind of got it sorted and covered. So I thought I'd go here in the middle and you know, help out my fellow medium tanks on my team, and just, you know, lend a helping hand with this autoloader on the Batchat 25T. The Batchat is a very difficult tank to master. I still haven't, you know, really properly mastered it myself. I'm still kind of crap with it, to be honest, but one thing to note is that unlike the Lorraine 40T, its Top Gun autoloader only carries 5 shells rather than 6, so when you're in a short-term engagement with an enemy tank, you have to be very careful about how you pick your shots and how you you know, reload and such. So you know, you just have to really take care of what you're doing with your with pretty much each and every shot. So I tried to sort of press down this Lorraine 40T here. All of a sudden they get picked out by that E50 and he kind of puts a shot into my side, and I just realised, oh, you know what, fuck it, I might as well just retreat, and I'm getting kind of my pummeled a bit. This was actually during a time actually when I was doing a mission for the crew campaigns, whereby I had to do over 2,000 damage to tank destroyers in a medium tank of tier 5 or above. And I don't know, I just kept trying and trying. I kept getting to these points where I thought, oh, I've done it, and then all of a sudden I did it in this one game where I thought, oh wait, I thought I hadn't done it there. And I think the requirements of this battle is it's the last medium tank mission of the second campaign. And I think the requirements of it are to do 2,000 damage to enemy tank destroyers with a medium tank of tier 5 or above, plus to, I think, win the battle as well. And it took me a long time to do it. I sometimes did it, but then my team would end up losing the battle, so I couldn't claim my prize. And yeah, that's what the replay was in there for. So if you didn't see it, I'll rewind it back a bit there for you. Basically, I came round this little bend in the road, and sort of I'm trying to look for their tank destroyers, seeing where they are. Where are they? Then all of a sudden I see this other Batchat decides to cliff dive and ends up killing himself. Look, I'm going to be perfectly honest, there are many times when cliff diving is probably the best thing to do in a situation to at least look awesome. But not then, surely. And, you know, then I run into a tank destroyer and get blown to pieces. But even still, I just thought it was worth putting that in there just because of the sheer idiocy of that opposing Batchat 25T. I mean, what were you thinking, man? My God. It just, if there is any tank in the game to do cliff diving in, one of the last ones I would expect you to do it in, or really even recommend at all, would be the Batchat 25T. It's incredibly light for a tier 10, so yeah, just don't. Just don't, mate. Oh my word. Some people sometimes, I swear to God. And now, for the main course of today's menu, we have a very nice little E25 replay that I had on Sand River in a very favourable match. As you can see, it's mostly tier 6, which for the E25 is like basically Christmas, Hanukkah and Eid and your birthday all rolled up into one. This is pretty much the best matchmaking you could ever hope to see in the E25. The E25 usually does get very favourable matchmaking anyway, though, but it's... Oh my word, in this match I was just like... It was just like Christmas, Eid, Hanukkah, my birthday, and everything all like that had been rolled into one. It was just marvellous. I mean, you know, there's only four tier 7s on either team. You know, with each team having 2 heavy tanks, 1 tier 7 tank destroyer and 1 tier 7 arty. We've got a Lorraine tier 7, then me in the E25, and then a guy in the Tiger and a guy in an IS-1. They've got a T-29, an IS-1, another E25, and a Gewehrpanzer artillery, which is a brutal artillery gun, let me tell you that. But mostly it was tier 6, so I thought to myself, alright, well, I'll probably be in very good hands and situations here. And I thought, even though the Sand River map isn't the best for camouflage and, you know, isn't usually the most favourable for tank destroyers, the E25 is so small and stealthy that I could probably stick on this side of the river and, you know, use the very few bushes that are on the side of this river, that are on this side of the river, to, you know, put some good sniping fire into the opposing tanks. And we almost got sort of rustled by that enemy Sherman Easy 8 there, because he tried to go on the suicide run to spot all of our tanks. He did spot a few of us, but he kind of ended up just wasting his tank, which was a bit unfortunate for the enemy team, because the Easy 8 is actually a really good little medium tank at tier 6. If you want to get sort of basically a tier 6 version of the Sherman Easy 8, I would recommend... Sorry, if you want to get a tier 6 version of the normal Sherman, I would say the Easy 8 is a good bet, because it's basically got the same characteristics, but it's just a tier 6. And it is a good tank. The Sherman Jumbo here that I'm facing off against is much different. It's much more like a, say, a tier 6 sort of lightweight heavy tank, sort of, to some degree. I mean, it's got really good frontal armour. It's got over, as far as I remember, over 100 or so millimeters of frontal armour. Its frontal armour is around the same level as the Tiger 1, which is pretty superb for a mid-tier medium tank. But as I showed in the last episode of World of Tanks with Gitbag, you can see the rapid fire of the E25 there, just going to town on the that very unfortunate T150. To be fair, I think he should have tried to, you know, at least go behind the sand dunes when he was moving across the back lines of his team's defensive position, but at the same time, I'm not going to complain too much myself. Now, I have mentioned before that I do think the E25's gun de-elevation is pretty good, but I did have to crest over the sandbanks here a little bit, and the Crusader did blow off my track, so I had to use my repair kit, because I thought I'm probably going to be spotted by the enemy E25 with their artillery, so I don't want to be put in that position where I can be, you know, easily taken care of by them. I want to, you know, keep my gun in the fight. So I had to use up my repair kit there, and unfortunately I did have to crest the sandbanks a bit, as you can see there, because the gun de-elevation on this thing, like I said before, is pretty freaking good. But it's not like super amazing. It's like, it could be a little bit better, but at the same time, this thing is so overpowered in terms of its lightweight speed and its stealth capabilities and its rapid fire, high penetration 75mm gun that you don't really need to worry about that too much. It's just that kind of tank. There's so many variables taking into account how fast and quick and mobile and rapid fire it is. Even if there wasn't that much else apart from those, you know, those particular aspects about the tank, you'd still have an absolutely terrifying machine on your hands, and of course you do, because this thing is brutally powerful. So I spotted their artillery there, and I thought, well, he's a bit forwards up, so I thought I might as well just punish him for his insolence. And then I just decided, well, their heavy tanks seem to be pushing around a bit, and this is the point at which I thought, yeah, they're definitely starting to lose now. They're, you know, they're down 10-6, so I thought I might as well just move up and try and take out some of their bigger and tougher tanks so that they can't have a chance of getting back into this. And so I thought I might as well move behind the camouflage bush there. And I was going to start firing at the T-29, but then I saw their E-25 and I wanted to get revenge on him for putting those couple of shots into me near the beginning of the match, so I damaged him a couple of times, and then I of course start pummeling this poor T-29. This guy, he had an alright game, you know. He got a kill, he got quite a lot of damage, but I don't know, I just kind of felt like he wasn't really well supported by his team, and he tried to push up there and he he just couldn't do it. I felt sorry for the guy. He did have a good game. He was an all right guy. In fact, I actually had a really amazing game here overall, as you can probably tell. I ended up doing almost 3,000 damage, which for a gun that does only about 125 average damage, that is pretty great. And I did that. You know, over a third of my damage was from a distance of more than 300 meters, and I ended up making a profit of about 40,000 credits, and you know, ended up making about, I think, about 3,500 XP, because there was a ×3 event going on at the time. And so I just had an absolute ball in this match. This was just, it was superb. It was really great. I mean, it wasn't perhaps as dynamic or as pulse-pounding as the other E25 games I showed you in the last episode of World of Tanks with Gitbag, but even still, I had an absolute ball in this game, and I hope it just goes to show you how overpowered the E25 is and how properly justified the World of Tanks developers were in removing it from the gift shop. But upon that note of an E25 killing another E25, I suppose it would be best to end it there. And of course, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of World of Tanks with Gitbag the Great as much as I did playing it and editing it and all that stuff. And until next time, have fun, take care with whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and until next time, I'll see you guys on the battlefield.